Explain for the listeners what shirt you're wearing.
I am wearing the little duck that has a knife and it says around him that I choose violence.
And where'd you get that shirt? Who makes that?
I'd have to take the shirt off, but I ain't going to do that in front of you guys.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Hannah.
And I'm Courtney.
Join us as we delve into true crime, paranormal encounters, and all things spooky.
Grab your flashlight and get ready to wander into the darkness with us.
This is Wicked Wanderings.
Hello, Hannah.
And everybody, Courtney is not here today. We miss her tremendously. She has some personal shit she got to do this weekend. She is fine, everybody. She has a life outside this podcast, and I understand that, so we will miss her. But in her stead, drum roll, please, we have Cousin Mark in the virtual flesh with us today. Thank you, Cousin Mark, for filling in.
Hello, Cousin Mark.
Hello.
So, Wanderers.
Back on the show.
Well, we missed you, of course.
I always miss you guys. Even you too, Rob.
Oh, thank you. We missed you at the wedding last month.
Yeah, but I was taking care of the littles.
Responsibility. Who the fuck thought of that, right?
All right, Hannah, what are we going to be discussing today?
Well, I want to talk about that, but I also want to say that we had a text come through from a wanderer.
Oh, yeah.
So it was actually from our Maura Murray update, and it says, nice update. Where was that guy from WP, West Point, during the murder? Was he in the area? That's a very good question, and I don't have the answer to that.
Thank you, Feeding Hills.
Yes, but we will have to look into that. But it's a very good question.
And for anyone not from Massachusetts, that's Feeding Hills, Massachusetts, which is located in Agawam, Massachusetts, which, fun fact, Agawam, Massachusetts has the lowest zip code in the country, 010001.
Woo!
Did you know that, Cousin Mark?
I did not. I'm not very up to date on my zip codes.
He's like, did I need to know that piece of information? Probably not. But thank you, Wanderer. I have no idea if he was in the area, the guy from West Point, but it just was a very peculiar case in the fact that he was hurting animals and taking money from it. It just seemed like a logical conclusion that he might have done something with Maura, but we don't know. But it's definitely a lead.
Yes, definitely.
So what we're talking about today, creatures of lore. We have several. I think we have 5 in total. And honestly, Rob helped me put this together. So thank you to Rob for helping me with this. Should I just dive in and talk about the first creature?
Definitely.
So the first creature is Wendigo, which is funny because when we talked about Camp Wendigo, I actually brought up the creature Wendigo, and Courtney said, no, it had nothing to do with it. It's spelled differently, whatever.
Okay. So now we're going to dive into the creature
Now we're
Wendigo.
going to talk about him. Cousin Mark, do you know who Wendigo is or the creature Wendigo?
I do not, but I am looking him up right now. So I can have some sort of input into this.
Excellent. So, Wanderers, as you know, I love creatures of lore. My favorite is Bigfoot, obviously. But I actually do not know about a lot of these. I mean, we could talk about Mothman and Wendigo. We have the Jersey Devil coming up. So let's just dive into Wendigo and see what Rob came up with. Originates from, oh God, Rob, this is a big word.
Oh boy.
Algonquin folklore?
Algonquin, yeah.
Yeah, okay. I'm guessing that is Native American origins?
Sounds like it.
Okay.
Yes, it is. Yep.
Said to be a spirit of insatiable greed or hunger, often linked to cannibalism. What the fuck? Typically appears after a person resorts to eating human flesh.
Ooh.
You know, Cousin Mark, you know who I think of eating human flesh?
No, that would be Jeffrey Dahmer.
That would be Jeffrey Dahmer.
Oh,
so I wonder if...
I thought you were going to talk about that fictional character. Hello, Clarice.
Oh, Hannibal Lecter.
Hannibal Lecter.
Oh, but he's not real, though.
No, that's why I said fictional character.
He ate a liver with some fava beans. And a nice...
That's normal, right?
Yeah.
Described as gaunt, emaciated, and sometimes part animal.
Oh.
Associated with cold climates, especially northern forests. Oh, great. Right where we live. A metaphor for unchecked consumption or loss of humanity. Inspired modern horror in film, literature, and video games.
Interesting.
Cousin Mark, do you have anything else to add to that?
Now, see, mine here is, again, with the Algonquin folklore.
Yeah.
A fearsome beast, often described as a giant, emaciated figure with a heart of ice.
Ooh.
Heart of ice.
It's a cannibalistic monster believed to stalk and devour humans, or a spirit that possesses individuals, causing them to turn into cannibals. The Wendigo is associated with winter and can be depicted as a giant humanoid or hybrid creature with deer-like features.
You know what I think of right away is the northern people beyond the wall in Game of Thrones.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It reminds me of South Park with Man Bear Pig.
Oh, jeez.
Wait, so, okay, Beyond the Wall in Game of Thrones, so I'm kind of going off your theory here. Those are just people that basically died there and then they came back to life.
Right. So
but they used all animal skins and everything to make their clothes.
Okay.
More animal rustic than the knights and everybody on the other side of the wall.
Cousin Mark, when you were talking about the deer-like features, I feel like any picture I've seen of them that people have tried to render, they have like huge antlers on top of their head as well.
Yes.
I mean, it really just sounds like a creature I don't want to meet in person.
Yeah, if you have Rob Google it on his phone, he can pull up some pictures.
Yeah, Rob, get to it.
Long claws, antlers, kind of looks like the cattle head. You know, when you have the skin and everything taken off the cattle head.
Yep.
They're very freaky.
Oh, okay. That must be a Native American type.
Interesting.
Maybe we need to move on. My goodness. The Jersey Devil.
Oh.
This is one that we all know.
That is why the NHL hockey team is named the New Jersey Devils.
Oh, really?
It was after that, yep.
I did not know that.
Also, with the Jersey Devil, the X-Files did an episode on that.
Interesting.
On the Jersey Devil.
God, X-Files.
So that one was good. I'm going a little bit before your time.
I recently heard that they're trying to remake the X-Files and bring the original 2 cast members back, or at least the woman.
Yeah, Gillian Anderson.
Yes. What was her character's name?
Dana Scully.
There you go.
And then you add David Duchovny played Fox Mulder.
Mulder and Scully. That's what I remember.
The Jersey Devil. A
Yes.
legendary creature said to inhabit the Pine Barrens of New Jersey. Which honestly, if you think about New Jersey, I don't think about forest.
Pine Barrens.
The Pine Barrens. Described as a kangaroo-like beast with bat wings, horns, and a forked tail.
Ooh.
Allegedly born to a woman named Mother Leeds in the 1700s, her 13th child. I'm guessing she was a witch. With a teat. See, Courtney's not here. She can't go with a teat after me. Anyways.
Fucking Putnams.
Fucking Putnams.
Thank you, Rob. Has been blamed for livestock deaths and eerie noises. Sightings surged in the early 1900s, creating mass panic. Skeptics believe it may be a misidentified bird or hoax. A misidentified bird. Okay, bird my ass. That is not true. Often used to reflect regional fears and folklore identity.
Oh, Hannah.
Ooh. Oh.
So that could be construed as a bird.
Yeah, but that's a big bird, Cousin Mark. That's my thing. Like, we don't have big birds. I feel like the big bird we have is like a...
Sesame Street.
He's a big yellow bird with an orange beak.
No, I'm talking about actual birds, not a big bird.
Like an ostrich?
We don't have ostriches in the Northeast.
No.
I'm talking about storks.
Oh,
That's
storks.
a kind of big bird.
Pterodactyl.
We got osprey on the Cape.
I'm sorry. Rob said what?
Pterodactyl.
That is... there's a dinosaur. It's
Yeah,
not real
but
anymore.
Dinosaurs turned into birds.
Oh my God.
Yes, but how did we know what the dinosaurs sounded like if no one was there?
I feel like we're getting off track a little bit here.
Well, no, because these are kind of like prehistoric looking images.
So the T-Rex, we actually had the wrong sound for him. And I think they were able to say like what he did sound like based off of vocal cord bone things.
Things, yeah.
Yes.
Things.
Yeah. I also bring in the prehistoric beings and whatnot because they're saying that this Jersey Devil had short arms. It's got bat-like wings, kind of like the pterodactyl, you know. So there are kind of similarities. So we're not too far off track with prehistoric.
Looking at those pictures, Cousin Mark, does it give you like how big it was? Any feet or inches to how big it was at all?
Not yet.
Okay. Just out of curiosity.
But you have to remember, these people
very superstitious
in the 1800s and whatnot were looking at things at night, trying to describe something going by fast. By the time you've had 8, 9, 10, 12, 15 people describe it, somebody's putting all the descriptions together. So that's why they got so many different attributes.
No, and absolutely. And I'm thinking when it says the 1700s, this woman, I mean, obviously it sounds like she must have been considered a witch just based off of the information we have. But I'm thinking also to people that have Ring cameras now, especially in Appalachia, where they have these things in their backyard and they can't describe what they are, making weird sounds, weird movements. There has to be some type of truth to these lores, even though it might not be like the Jersey Devil. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah.
There's things out there we cannot explain. I know that.
Yep. But also, the human brain will manifest things to your images that you want to see. See, like, I don't believe in ghosts. Okay? So that's probably why I've never seen one. People that believe in ghosts are open-minded to see that.
You really don't believe in ghosts, Cousin Mark?
No. Everything happens for a reason.
We're going to have to bring him on a ghost tour with us.
Okay. I tagged you and Courtney in a spooky New Hampshire thing, Facebook.
Oh, I'll have to look at that.
Yeah.
We ready for the third one?
I think so.
All right. Spring-heeled Jack, which I've never heard of.
He's in England.
Cousin Mark, man, he just like is an encyclopedia of weirdness.
That's right.
A mysterious figure from Victorian England reported to leap incredible heights, breathe blue flames, and wear a cape. Victims claimed he clawed at them with metal fingers. Became a media sensation and urban legend throughout England, possibly inspired by fears of industrialization or gothic fiction. Some believe he was a prankster aristocrat, others a supernatural entity. Inspired characters in penny dreadfuls and later pop culture. I've never heard of this.
Yeah. When I listened to the last podcast on the left, they did a whole cryptids episode, and this was one of them.
Yeah, I've never heard of this guy at all. It's interesting.
You know, you had said clawed at with metal fingertips. It reminds me of Edward Scissorhands.
Oh, I love that movie. That's a good film. But I love how that says it's possibly inspired by fears of industrialization. I think that's very interesting. I mean, the world was moving really fast back then. It's interesting that they bring that up.
Yeah. Many stories also mentioned a devil-like aspect.
It always comes back to the devil.
Of course.
Devils associated with evil and death.
It's incredible. Like when I was in Salem with my brother and we went to this wonderful house museum, they were talking about how they made certain marks on their doors and stuff just because they were so superstitious of what evil could come after them. And even though they were, you know, quote unquote, God-fearing people, they still had those like superstitious beliefs. And it's just so interesting to me how they thought these simple markings or cleansing type of rituals could save them. It's so interesting.
Yeah. Well, I'm not a very religious person, but that also is Passover.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. With the blood. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep. Again, mass hysteria.
Yep.
If you get people talking about it, everybody's going to believe it.
Right. Well, and I think that's why it's important to like do your own research. It's kind of hard to do it into the paranormal, but you guys know what I'm saying. Like, do your own research, your own documentation. Don't just believe what you read on the internet or what people say to you. Like, I'm going to look into this myself. And no, TikTok is not a reliable source, everybody. Just going to put that out there. We all love it, but it's not a reliable source. Should I go to the next one?
Yeah.
All right.
Absolutely.
Krampus.
Krampus?
Oh.
Who doesn't love Krampus?
Old Uncle Krampus.
Oh, you have an old uncle named Krampus?
No, but that's what it sounds
we
like.
We need to talk about that, Rob.
My great uncle Krampus. He was so Krampus all the time.
That's right.
A dark counterpart to St. Nicholas in Central European folklore. depicted as a horned, hairy beast with chains and a basket for abducting children.
Oh.
Punishes naughty kids during the Christmas season.
Okay.
Originates from Alpine traditions and pagan winter festivals. Has seen a resurgence in popularity through parades and horror films, which is true. Represents the dual nature of the holiday season, reward and punishment. Highlights how folklore adapts and survives in modern culture, which is kind of funny because one of my favorite authors is Brom, B-R-O-M, and he wrote Slewfoot, which is a fabulous telling of witchery in Salem. So if you're looking into that stuff, it's really good. Also the audiobook. But anyways, he also did a book called Krampus, and it's not on my to-read list, but it's very true how it's come back into society and kind of like this good, evil Santa Claus, Krampus, coal in your stocking, or you're going to get a gift. So it's obviously a way to make kids be scared.
Yeah. Again, the same thing that religion does.
Yeah.
Scares you into being good and kind and, things like that. But with Krampus here, you have technically horns. They look like goat horns, associated with the devil.
Of course.
Super long tongue in most of these pictures that I'm looking at. That one's funny. That's one of a Krampus sitting on a rocking horse with a child.
Oh my God.
You want creepy, there you go.
Where does the goat representation for the devil come from? Because I grew up in religion my whole life, and there's never been anything with a goat. Where did that come from?
The only thing I can think of is somebody going, well, it had things on the top of its head like a goat. Or a cow.
Maybe that's something we need to look into, or if a wanderer happens to know, because I've read the Bible from back to front and nothing about the devil being a goat. So if anyone knows, please let me know.
Send us a message. There's a link down in the show notes. It says send us a text.
And reference this show in the text. So
very good point, Cousin Mark. Thank you. All right, the next one is the Beast of Gavadon, a wolf-like creature blamed for attacking and killing people in 18th century France. Ooh, Francois. Victims were often women and children killed in brutal fashion. Over 100 deaths were attributed to the beast between 1764 and 1767. King Louis XV even sent soldiers to hunt it down. Theories include an unusually large wolf, a hyena, or a human serial killer. Media and folklore amplified its legend for beyond the actual events, considered a precursor to modern werewolf lore. Ooh. So it must have been pretty serious if King Louis decided to send people after it. I mean, I love werewolf lore. It's up there with vampires for me. I think that's amazing.
Yeah, they got the cryptid theory, the creature's unusual descriptions, and the lack of evidence for a known animal led some to speculate it was a cryptid, a creature unknown to science. But then again, they also had the human culprit, perhaps a serial killer, because of the mutilation and decapitations.
With all this different lore and people having different descriptions for different beings, there has to be some truth somewhere to it.
But see, it's all going to come down to people describing what they see. Okay, you take the Egyptians. The Egyptians watched aliens come out of the sky in their ships.
And now a quick word from our sponsors.
A sincere expression of gratitude to our esteemed patrons for their generous monthly contributions. You too can become a valued patron and unlock a realm of exclusive content by supporting our mission for as little as $3 a month. Your contributions sustain our commitment to delivering high-quality content. Visit wickedwanderingspodcast.com and click on the support tab to join the ranks of our dedicated patrons. Thank you for considering this opportunity to deepen your engagement with Wicked Wanderings. Your support is paramount in enabling us to continue our journey into the realms of mystery and true crime.
They had no word for alien. They had no word for spaceships. So they associated it with the only thing they knew, which was their religion.
Wait, what aliens are you talking about?
The aliens that came down and helped the Egyptians build the pyramids and all that stuff.
Build the pyramids, right? Because it wasn't the Jews, as everyone says.
Yes. because they had no words for what they were looking at, so they associated it with higher level beings, angels, and things like that.
I feel like this is going over my head. I need to do more research on this because this is insane. Rob, you look like you want to say something.
I was just going to say, you don't believe that aliens visited the Egyptians, but you believe in Bigfoot?
Yes, I believe in Bigfoot. And but there's also like my religious background of the Jews were the ones that helped build the pyramids because they were enslaved. But that's my religious background. Like, yes, I believe in aliens. Like, absolutely, there can be beings out there. It's coming from a religious perspective, right? I can't imagine God being like, okay, this is the only thing I'm going to make. Like, come on, we're pretty boring.
And the universe is so vast.
And the universe is so big, right? Why just make us, right? That seems silly to me.
But see, I understand Hannah believing in Bigfoot, a big, hairy, smelly creature, because she lives with Rob.
But I need to find his relatives.
Hey, if you can't pick on your family, who can you pick on?
Oh my God, I'm going to pee myself.
Wow.
Oh my God.
Just don't burn the house down.
Oh my God, that, ooh, I'm not allowed to buy those candles ever again, by the way.
No.
Yeah, imagine how I felt, 200 miles away, living it through a screen.
Basically, and you're like, do I call 911 or are they okay? Like, you're like, hello, ladies.
I don't know if you survived. Please call again.
But you're letting the Wanderers know everything. Guys, you need to go back to that episode because it is fantastic. Poor cousin Mark was letting the Wanderers know, I think they're okay. They threw water on it. I think they're all right.
That's a big flash. Uh-oh.
Yes.
They're burning the house down.
Yorkshire Ripper, Part 1, Episode 78.
It's in there, Wanderers. Thank God no one got hurt, but it was definitely worth listening to.
Crazy. All right, let's go. Another cryptid.
That's all I got.
Oh, all right. Well, then we'll have to talk about Mothman.
All right, talk about Mothman. What do you got?
Okay, so we got a bonus one.
There we go. All right. So the Mothman legend emerged in Point Pleasant, West Virginia.
Okay.
Particularly in 1966 and 1967, leading up to the collapse of the Silver Bridge.
Ooh, what's a Silver Bridge? Do we know?
It's just a bridge in Mount Point Pleasant, West Virginia.
Okay.
Reports of the creature described as a large winged humanoid figure with red glowing eyes became widespread in the area. While the exact origin is debated, popular theories include military experiments, folklore, and even possible misinterpretations of large birds.
There's a large bird shit again.
Yeah, well, you got to have the wings in there. But keep in mind that in places overseas, Africa and whatnot, they have bats that are like, their wingspan's like 8 feet long.
Right.
So seeing something that big is not particularly out of the ordinary. Maybe for here, but not in other parts of the world.
Isn't the bald eagle, their wingspan, like enormous?
Yeah, 5, 6, 7, 8 feet, but they're not as big as some of these cryptids.
Yeah, 6 to 8 feet.
Yeah.
So when they were talking about experimentation, it just brought my mind to, so cousin Mark, you'll probably know what I'm talking about, and I would love to do an episode on her, is one of the doctors from World War II that was trying to make a super soldier, and he started experimenting on his own daughter.
Oh.
And she's said to be like still alive somewhere, living out her days, like just she turned into a monster.
Dr. Mengele.
I can't find any books on it, which I'm kind of surprised.
Yeah.
But he basically was just like, I'm really sorry for what happened to you, and just like left her there.
Yeah, they were just ruthless with what they were doing in that. So it was Joseph Mengele, Mengele. He did all kinds of experiments, not only with his own daughter, but he also did them with the Jewish children that they had taken.
That's just so sad.
Some of the things that he was doing was deadly experiments on prisoners with no medical basis at the Auschwitz camp.
Have you seen Man in the High Castle? It's a really good show about what would have happened if we lost World War II. And so Germany took over part of America, and then the Japanese took over the western half.
Yeah.
And they do experiments on people. It's a really sad but really good show on Amazon Prime if you have it. But it kind of reminds me of that as well.
Yeah. His experiments focused primarily on twins with no regard for the health or safety of the victims. I'd have to dig into it more, but again, trying to figure out how to make a more superior person, he just did whatever he wanted to with no consequence.
All right, do we want to do a card? All right, pick a card, any card.
All right, so I have the 7 of diamonds. This is Paula Jacobs.
Okay.
Monday, October 3rd, 2011, at approximately 9:15 p.m., the victim was shot and fatally wounded in the courtyard behind 39 Dearborn Street in Roxbury. If you have any info about this case, please call 1-855-MA-SOLVE.
These really are sad. And I wish, maybe, we don't know, right? Maybe a wanderer has called in and knows something.
Yeah.
I mean, we never know, right?
Yeah.
We won't know.
No. And you don't have to text us to let us know that you called in.
No, we don't.
But if you do know something,
Please call.
Call 1-855-MA-SOLVE. And let's close one of these cases. I mean, we have a whole deck, 52. We've gone through half of them. And maybe someone out there that's listening knows something or has something.
And you can do it anonymously. You don't have to have your name put in there.
Right. Cousin Mark, I can't thank you enough for coming on today, so it's not me and Rob just staring at each other.
And Hannah, I can't thank you enough for doing the 5 lores that we have today. And Cousin Mark, the bonus lore.
That's where
the bonus lore. In the virtual flesh.
We always throw the stuff at the wall to see what sticks.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like spaghetti.
Well, thank you for listening, everyone. If you want some cozy t-shirts or some sweet hoodies, head down in the show notes and it will take you to our merch site. If you haven't started following us on Instagram or TikTok or Facebook, definitely hit the follow. If you go to our website, it has all those links in there.
And we're hoping that we're going to get stickers soon because me and Courtney kind of want to invest in a cricket. So we're hoping for stickers.
Well, I just need to pull the trigger and buy some stickers at a sticker making company.
The other thing I love too is my Wicked Wandering Skull tee.
Woo!
That t-shirt is amazing.
Yay! Cousin Mark. He's the best ever.
I just want to say thank you to any new listeners. If you're here for the first time, thank you very much. We've noticed that our numbers have gone up tremendously. We did a little ad campaign, and hopefully you guys are sticking around because you like the content that we have.
And of course, text us. If you're like, hey, I want you to do an episode on this, or can you talk more on this? Please let us know. We love to have feedback.
Link is down in the show notes. All right, Hannah, Mark.
Thank you, Wanderers. Thank you, Cousin Mark and Rob.
Bye.
Bye, Rob.
Thanks for listening today. Wicked Wanderings is hosted by me, Hannah.
And co-hosted by me, Courtney.
And it's produced by Rob Fitzpatrick.
Music by Sasha N.
If you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to leave a rating and review, and be sure to follow on all socials. You can find the links down in the show notes. If you're looking for some really cozy t-shirts or hoodies, head over to the merch store. Thank you for being a part of the Wicked Wanderings community. We appreciate every one of you. Stay curious, keep exploring,
and always remember to keep on wandering.